Hey everyone, Gen X Fusion here with another video of some Dauntless gameplay. This video in here is basically my fourth attempt at the Frost Escalation, where we take on the boss Urska with my hunting partner, withLadyNoLucky. So without further delay, let's get into it. Now in this round, I felt a little bit more confident in terms of my understanding with how to keep my frostbite down. And I also decided that this time around, instead of using my Torgadoro barrel, which is a blaze barrel, I decided let me go ahead and just use the Terra barrel for this, because I felt that being able to get a free revive was much more important than doing damage. And I think it paid off pretty well. Now you're probably asking, hey, Gen X, what's with the new Animal Crossing opening? Well, I'm glad you asked. Actually, the reason why I got that opening is because I felt like I needed to do something a little bit different. And so I thought I'd use that opening from my recent Animal Crossing gameplay. And so that's the reason why I did it. But the other reason is because my family has reason to be able to celebrate. This past month had its challenges, and yet we've also had some major victories. Probably the biggest challenge over the last month is that we experienced a loss in our family. And so a lot of the emotions that we had to work through to help handle the affairs of one of our relatives who departed was a challenge. And then at the same time, during that time, we were also very blessed and fortunate to be able to purchase a home, and we're actually homeowners now. And so our family is going to be moving out of the apartment that we've been living in for the last 22 years, and we are moving into a new home. And the best part about it is that it's still here in my hometown. We didn't have to leave my hometown. And that was one of the biggest things that we really desired, is to be able to stay in our hometown, because we love where we live. We love the city that we live in, and we love the community as well. And being able to move into this new home is an upgrade. We've got to move into a better neighborhood, and it's actually a lot closer to my job and my place of employment. So I think that's the reason why I put that little festive Animal Crossing opening. And I'll probably use that opening for a little while now. So get used to it. Even though I would go down for the count a few times during this escalation, I think overall during this round, or during this specific escalation, I felt more confident in my understanding on what was needed from me on my side, and I felt more confident just in terms of what I learned in the skills and the abilities that I have developed. In being able to understand the way these behemoths work, the way the frostbite beater has to be managed, and also just thinking about my hunting partners whenever I go through this escalation, thinking about their well-being as well. What I should have done there was I should have launched that fireball at the Skarn. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. In my last video, I mentioned that there are 3 pieces of lore here on this Frost Escalation map. The first one is in this round, the second round. It's basically the shipwreck. So make sure you grab it when you come through here. One of the things that I noticed is my hunting partner, withLadyNoLucky, how she was really cutting loose and doing some major damage with that war pike that she has. It was really cool to see.
I'll do what I can to help you deal with the frostbite. Take shelter in the areas of Urska's lair.
Hug. Rezakiri. I hate Rezakiri. Probably the biggest reason I hate is that that insect has the ability to one-shot you if the scenario is just right. Very irritating. You know, I haven't talked too much about prisms and how I use them. I kind of vary back and forth with the various prisms. In this particular battle or escalation, I'm using Pangar's Prism. And it's a wonderful prism because it does damage whenever anything goes into its area of effect. On the other side is that sometimes I confuse Pangar's Prism with the frostbite attacks or the frostbite environment, and I end up getting frostbite as a result. The only difference is the ground on the frostbite is a little bit more frozen than the ground on Pangar's Prism. I really dislike these barriers that Rezakiri and Valamire put up. I don't do much damage in taking them down, and it takes me a long time to be able to break them down unless I get help, or if I happen to have my weapons empowered. You may be asking, well, why don't I use the deconstruction perk? Well, if I use that, then I could use it for this specific scenario, but then I would sacrifice something else, and at this point, deconstruction isn't that high on the ladder.
Look for zones of warmth to beat the frostbite. Sky Slayers aren't made for this weather.
Now the second lure is located at the end of this mountainside pathway. Instead of taking the Aether Vent to shoot across the, I guess you could say, the canyon, you would go to the left and you can drop off the ledge there, and you'll land on a man-made walkway, and from there you can take it over, take yourself over to the second lure. Another thing that is an advantage with Pangar's Prism is that when you activate it and it is doing its damage in its area of effect, any minions that attempt to enter that area to get to you are also damaged. So it is a wonderful, wonderful crowd control prism that can definitely take care of any of the minions that are trying to attack you, whether they're spitters, bombers, Styxians, or the ever-dreaded Gruk-Gruks.
injury to your foes, your allies will grow stronger.
Finally, I could tell that I was getting better at this, simply because of the fact that I was able to keep both my pylons all the way up until the final boss, which is where we were going to need the most. The third lore is located in this cavern. As you travel through here, it will open up, and you'll see it on the right-hand side. It's some bones. I wonder if Urska ate those poor things. Trying to break, or rather aim, at the paws of Urska. The reason is that we need the paws in order to craft armor and weapons. Them things can be difficult to hit. But I think the harder thing is trying to hit that tail. That tail, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it has a lot of health points, or if they just make it super difficult to hit. But it seems like most of the time that tail is just impossible to break. After defeating Urska this third time, I felt much more confident about my abilities, about the types of barrels or repeaters that I can use, and also just overall, just in just being able to understand my role in a hunting party and what I would need to do when we get to Urska. So thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. I will have more footage to put up very soon. Until then, see you soon. Hi viewers, remember to subscribe, like the video, comment, and click on the little bell to receive notifications of future content. Have a good one.